Kathryn and I work in the education team at the National Archives. Let's find which document box we're opening today. As you can see, every document box in our collection has a unique code. Often they reveal clues about what's inside. For example, HO stands for Home Office. Our box has the code CRIM. That's interesting, remember that, and we'll come back to it later. Before we open the box and find out what the document is inside, I want you to think about questions you could ask about a historical document that you've never seen before. For example, what type of document is it? Or what's its nature? For example, is it a photograph or a newspaper? Sometimes this is obvious, but not always. There are lots of other questions you could ask, so I'm going to give you 30 seconds to come up with as many as you can. Start thinking in 3, 2, 1, off you go. Well done. Let's see if we came up with similar questions. So another W question is, what is it about, or what's its content? When was it made? Is there a date, or do we have to work out from other clues? Who made it, or what's its origin, and who is it for? Why was it made, or what's its purpose? And finally, why do we have it at the National Archives? We won't be able to look at all of these in one go, but we'll work together on the most relevant ones for us today. Now we're going to find out what is inside this box. At first, I'm only going to give you 5 seconds to spot 2 things. What do you notice about the size of the document, and what words jump out at you? Ready? Go. Time's up. I bet you noticed more than you think. Straight away, we can see that it's small. It doesn't fill the whole box. Even though it's small, what words jumped out at you? It could have been any, but the biggest words are membership card. I'm going to enlarge the document now so we can see it better. That information you gathered in just 5 seconds answers one of the questions from earlier. What type of document is it? A membership card. There's not much other text on this document, but it does help us answer some of the other questions. There may be words you don't understand, but some of the others will help you work out the meaning. This time, I'm going to give you much longer, 45 seconds, to see if you can answer 2 more questions. Who made it, and why did they make it? This second one is more complex, but have a go. Ready? Off you go. Okay, well done. How did you get on with those? Let's look at the first one. Who made it? At the top of the document, you can see Men's Political Union for Women's Enfranchisement. It's a bit like a title, and it's in fact the organisation that has made this membership card for people who want to join them. Did you come up with that too? If you haven't heard of the word enfranchisement before, did you notice the phrase votes for women at the bottom? That's what enfranchisement means. It also says read Votes for Women, which is actually a newspaper. Here's an example of a newspaper called the Suffragette that was produced by members of the Women's Social and Political Union, or the WSPU for short. Now, let's have a think about that second question. Why was it made? It's a bit more complex. You may come up with a few different ideas. Firstly, this is a membership card for a union or group whose focus is votes for women. The membership card suggests that this union was for men, as it's the men's union for women's enfranchisement. You may have questions about what this union did and what role did men have in the campaign for votes for women. This is exactly what this lesson is about. But before you find out, let's finally return to that point about the document code. The document came from a box with the code CRIM. I'm sure you had ideas relating to the word criminal, and you'd be right. This code, CRIM, stands for the Central Criminal Court and contains documents relating to proceedings in court. But why is this membership card included in a court case?
Before you start the lesson, have a think about how the membership card you've just seen could be used to explain the title of this lesson, which is Suffragettes in Trousers. What does it tell you about the suffragette movement, and does it raise any questions? Write down your ideas before you move on.
Well done for making such great progress already, and enjoy the rest of the lesson.